Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Four Stars Kickoff Sports. This is the Four Stars Kickoff Show, and man, we got some things to talk about. Some big changes that just happened on this Bears offensive line. We're going to get into that, some final predictions, some crazy stats that could make or break this game. Some you like, some you may not, but we're going to get all into it, all in depth, get you everything you need to know. Up to date, up to kickoff, 5:30, NBC, the lakefront, the frozen stadium. Can't wait for this. We'll be right back to break it all down with you right after this.
Windy City banners rocking 4 stars align. Dynasty dreams rise, Bulls in their prime. Cubs curse shattered, the victory divine. Fields be running, clock ticking on my timeline. Shot-town heroes, legends never fade. Black Hawks flying, cutting ice with the blade. White Sox diamonds, the Southside parade. 4 stars shine bright, legacies they made. Mike with the crown, air rain, no dispute. Sweetness in the backfield, Walter in pursuit. Bear down Sunday's midfield, battles cute. Chicago's.
Hello again, everybody. Sorry, there was a technical difficulty. I don't think you heard me in that opening segment. Son of a bitch. But we're back now, baby. And what I said was we got some big things to talk about because the Chicago Bears have a change on the offensive line. I don't know that anything's official, but we have to talk about this. Joe Thuney slipping over to the left side and Jordan McFadden taking over the left guard position, having 2 snaps this year, getting the start over Luke Newman. Now, this is being reported by Adam Johns. Brad Biggs started this story yesterday. What's true, what's not, what's actually going to happen are completely different stories because I don't have any confirmation. Brandon, I don't know if you found anything more than what Adam Johns said this morning, but they expected Jordan McFadden to slide into that position at left tackle next, or at left guard, and Thuney slipping over to left tackle. I don't know if you've heard anything more, but that's all I've heard as of 9 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, no, I Googled it after I saw the Adam Johns thing, and I couldn't find anything further on it. So as far as I know, he's the only person, like you said, Biggs might have said something. He's the only person I've read that said anything about him, man. And I don't know how much I'd want to read that or believe that to be the case. I mean, Theo Bennett's played left tackle for you multiple games. He did it 3 weeks ago when Trapil was nursing something. You've never had Thuney at left tackle, and you've never had McFadden on the field. I don't like you're changing too much, man.
Yeah,
You're changing too much.
I'm with you, man. I figured looking at his performance, during the season, Luke Newman looked like a pretty damn good rookie guard. And I know you maybe don't want to start a rookie, but you don't want to start Jordan McFadden, who had 2 snaps too. So I don't know. And to your point, Vizzo, Thuney did suck. They blamed him in the first, like when he first went to left tackle. I read a long story on it. And by the time playoffs came around last year, they say he was shining in that position. He actually, I believe it was the AFC Championship game, gave up 0 pressures. So he got better, obviously being taken out of what he is, a superior, elite, if not the best guard in all of football. But we'll see what happens today. But I'm with you, Brandon. I think tinkering a little bit too much with this line. It's a little scary, especially with those dogs that you have in the Rams and Byron Young, Kobe Turner, Jared Verse. I mean, these guys get after it, 5th in the league in quarterback pressures, tops and sacks at 47 on the year. I mean, it's definitely something we're going to have to overcome. And it'll be interesting. And this is something from now till kickoff that we're going to have to keep an eye on. Because like I said, I saw Adam Johns say it. Brad Biggs just reported that Joe Thuney may move over to left. He never stated if there was going to be who was going to be the guard. Johns was the first one to report that this morning. So again, we don't know the truth. We don't know the situation. It is concerning.
It's very, I don't know, man. It's not even what's going on at left tackle. It's not whether or not Thuney can play left tackle. It's the guy just made all pro as your guard.
Yeah.
That's guard in football.
Yeah.
If you have an all pro safety and a good corner goes down, or you're like, well, we just got to take that all pro guy to the safety spot and throw him over there on the edge, man. Like that just doesn't make. I don't move all pros from their positions, man. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Those are the Darnell Wright and Joe Tooney would be the two guys that I make sure remain exactly where the fuck they are. That's how I would approach it. And I thought Theo Benedict had played enough football to be more prepared for this game than McFadden at guard. How bad can Benedict be, Sean, if the guy's started 4 or 5 games this year and you're not willing to put him out there at tackle, so you'll put a practice squad player out there at guard? Like, I don't know.
Well,
Yeah, this
Dustin-
is what Dustin said. I did read this. I read from John's in that tweet. He said this is plan B. So maybe he was just stating that they're removing Luke Newman from their game plan entirely, and they're going to bring up a practice squad player in McFadden to play guard. I still don't love it. I
Yeah,
guess I'm guessing by plan B they just mean if Benedict gets injured in some way, shape, or form, that Tooney's your left tackle instead of Braxton Jones. And I actually said on the Thursday show, I don't think you can let Braxton Jones touch the field again. So that makes sense.
yeah, and I'm looking at if Brad Biggs did say plan B with Trapillo out, the Bears could be fixing to move All-Pro Joe Tooney to left tackle to help protect Caleb Williams against the formidable Rams defensive front. So again, we'll have to see what they feel is best. But I have to ask you this, Brandon, when we say we trust this staff, so if they're saying we're trusting this move, moving him to left and putting this guy in at left guard, they must be seeing what they want to see on the practice field, and we have to trust that they're making the right decision here, even though we don't like it. Right?
Well, I don't know, Sean, because are we falling into another discussion here where we don't trust our medical staff? Did we bring Braxton Jones back? Did we activate him from IR and then put him on the practice field and realize we don't have a backup left tackle? Braxton Jones is fucking injured, like always. Is that what happened? So they had to announce during practice, we figured out that our Braxton Jones we activated off IR is still very much IR'd, and fucking Joe Tooney is our backup now. And now we can't address it. We've got nothing. We can't do anything about it now because it is what it is. Did the Bears rush back another player that wasn't healthy enough to play, see it in practice, and shut him down again? That's my question. Because this medical staff seems to be doing this on a consistent basis, man. And Kyle said it a couple weeks ago. It's not something you think about as a fan too much, but Kyle said, I think I'd clean house on this training staff.
I mean,
It's
it
looking
might
that
be
way
something.
still.
And just so we're clear, Adam John's tweet said, as Brad Biggs said, the Bears are looking at moving Joe Tooney to left tackle with Trapillo out. My understanding is that left guard options start with Jordan McFadden. So the Bears line could look Tooney, McFadden, Dahlman, Jackson, Wright.
Yeah, so that sounds to me this is all pending a Benedict injury. That's what this is all about, I think. If Theo Benedict, because it doesn't make sense, Sean. We talked about it on the Monday show, man. What other team has the luxury of plugging in a left tackle that's started multiple games this year? You know what I mean? Most teams just don't have that in their pocket, dude. Most teams, when your left tackle goes down, you're putting a guy out there that just hasn't played any fucking football for the year, and you're pretty screwed. The Bears have this beautiful luxury because Ben Johnson made these guys compete for this position before the season started, and then he let each one try to play throughout the season to prove it's their job. You've got a guy who's done it. The left tackle thing, man, is concerning. I do think Ben knows how to address getting help or build whatever or Roshar. He'll figure out how to get help over there. I don't want to see anybody but Theo Benedict playing left tackle in this game. So, of course, that plan B injury thing is something they'll have to address if an injury occurs. But this line should be Benedict, Tooney, Dahlman, Jackson. Right. That's what it should be.
I'm with you.
Yeah, 100%. And I think Ben Johnson and Dan Roshar know that. Dan Roshar knows who his best players are, Sean. So, yeah, we can't trust him. And I will say this, Sean, you made a point, and you're not wrong. If Benedict's injured and you see Tooney move over and McFadden come in, Dan Roshar thinks those are his best 5 players that he's got available. So that means Luke Newman, as far as Roshar is concerned, is not ready to play in this football game.
Which is really odd because
it's weird because McFadden's been on the practice squad, though. Why wouldn't you have had that guy on your roster if he's better than Luke Newman?
Yeah, it's really.
Why don't you send Luke Newman to the practice squad if he's a guy that can just never play if called upon? Like, it doesn't. I don't know, man. Some of that stuff we need a little more.
Maybe Luke Newman's just a better right guard than left guard, and he's out of position on the left side, and they recognize that too. You know,
yeah, that's a good point. Know. We've only ever seen him play right. Did he play left in the? Oh yeah, he played for Tooney a little bit in the preseason, so he did play some left. I don't know. Yeah, that's something we will probably never have an answer for, guys. The Bears staff is going to be probably the only ones who know. Maybe that
Oh,
they have a discussion with the broadcasters, and those guys will tell you a little more about it during the game. But
yeah, my team, my eyes will be peeled to Twitter for the next few hours approaching this ball game to see if anything comes up, and if anything does, we'll put it on Four Star Chicago Sports Facebook page in our group and keep you all as informed as possible. And Paul makes a good point here. Maybe it's some gamesmanship. Ben could be saying this, so the Rams have to prepare for anything. That could very well be. Um, as far as these injuries go, the Bears got some unfortunate news with the return of Kevin Dotson. It looks like he will be playing. Kevin Dotson is significant on this line. The Rams average 4.8 yards per carry with Dotson in the line, opposed to 4 yards per carry without him, so almost a yard better. That is not an attractive piece. I was hoping that high ankle sprain was going to keep him out to help the Bears stop this tremendously good run game of the Rams. Unfortunately, that does not appear to be the case. Roma Dunze went from limited to full practice yesterday. He did remain questionable for this game, but I don't think there's a question he's going to be playing in this football game. Jalen Reeves may have been another one. He was limited, questionable. Nick McLeod, thank you, God, is out of this football game.
is Maben still questionable?
As far as the injury report today, he's questionable. So this is another GTD.
I thought he played. I thought he had some impactful plays last week.
Yeah, I did too. So hopefully he can get out there. I want to ask you because as I got into this, I found some interesting things when it comes to the Rams and the Bears and how this game could play out, because we've talked about on our shows throughout the weeks about how Caleb Williams can really push this ball through the air. The up-to-minute forecast seems to be about 5 below zero, with gusty winds reaching 20 to 25 miles per hour. I wanted to bring this up because last year in Philadelphia, when the Rams were sent home by the Eagles in a 28-22 loss, it was 34 degrees. Wind chill made it feel 20. I looked this up this morning. They did have gusty winds of about 20 miles per hour. I don't know the severity, if it was gusting like it would at Soldier Field. I don't know the makeup of Lincoln Financial Field. But one of the reasons why I wasn't emphasizing the weather too much, putting too much into it, is because the Rams put up 402 yards in that game. Total yards, 291 passing yards, 111 rushing yards. They had to average 6 yards per carry, or 6 yards per play in that game. They had a total of 70 plays in that football game. They did wind up punting 5 times in that football game. They put up 22 points. The score was a little low. Brandon, I listened on Thursday. We talked about it on Monday. As we approach this game here, just a few hours on the clock left before kickoff, do you feel, knowing what you know, seeing them put up 400 yards in Philadelphia in conditions last year, and the weather report did say there was some snow in that game. I don't remember off the top of my head, but do you put any emphasis into this win? Do the Bears have an advantage in your mind because of this weather, or is this just a bunch of hoopla, hyperbole bullshit?
No, the Bears very obviously have a advantage because of the weather. That's why the Bears want teams at home. It's not just because they're home crowd. We have watched numerous playoff games. The Chicago Bears have beaten teams up that just look like they didn't want to play, right? We've seen it. Did it against the Drew Brees Saints. I mean, multiple teams have, or the Matt Hasselbeck Seahawks, multiple teams have come here, man. Teams that have been dominant in the NFL throughout a season and looked like shit and looked like they want to go home and look like they want to be inside. That's going to be the case. The Rams players aren't going to be looking super comfortable sitting there on the sideline. Like I said this on Thursday, shitty weather sucks. I didn't see what Dustin said there. Shitty weather sucks. It sucks for everybody. It sucks. It sucks for any human being, guys. Not football player. Not put yourself in Matt Stafford's shoes. Do you want to go play a game in 55 degrees with sun and no wind, or do you want to go play in -8? Of course.
Yeah.
And the Bears just so happen to have to do it more because they practice outside, they play outside. I mean, the Bears are more accustomed to it. It sucks for the Bears, Sean.
It
I
does. It
assure
sucks for
you,
everybody.
the Bears players are like, man, this sucks. It's fucking cold as shit outside, but they're a little more used to it than the average person is. These guys coming from LA are gonna be really fucking cold.
Yeah.
And I said this last week on Thursday too. If the Bears gotta go play the Buccaneers in the middle of summer in Tampa, it's gonna suck for them. They're gonna be sitting in front of fans on the sideline taking oxygen with the
I
mister spraying water on them. You know what I mean? Because it sucks, guys. And it's gonna suck more for the Rams than it does for the Bears. It'll suck for both, but more for the Rams for sure.
And really quick to address a couple people in the chat here on the injury front, Tyreek Stevenson appears to be healthy. He's not on the injury report at all. CJ Gardner Johnson and Joe Tyron Shayenka, both cleared concussion protocol, both off of the injury report for today's ball game. I do like what
That's
Shayenka
huge.
has done. Yeah, he's had some splash plays. He's made some impact for the Bears since coming over from
He's done.
Cleveland.
He's.
So
I thought when they had that rotation, Sean, of I thought Sweat was playing his best football when Shoyinka was taking a pretty big chunk of snaps. I thought
mhm.
Sweat looked more refreshed. Sweat kind of fell off the last couple of weeks. I don't know. I think if you have Robinson, Shoyinka, Sweat, and Booker out there playing, because Robinson made some plays last week, man, these guys will at least be fresh. I still
Yeah.
don't know how good they are and how often they're going to win, but these guys are playing an awful lot of football when they lose one, man. I mean, I don't know how much Montez Sweat came off the field last week.
Yeah, it's going to be. I think it's going to be interesting today because there are some stats, Brandon, that I want to share with you that are a little scary for the Chicago Bears. And I originally had picked 27-24. And I think I'm going to move my score up a little bit in this game, just based on a couple of these crazy stats that I found. So the Chicago Bears are allowing 2.6 yards per carry before contact per running backs. With Dotson on the field, the Rams have one of the top 5 units, and the Rams are averaging 2.8 yards before contact with their line. This is something the Bears are going to have to counter in this ball game. It is absolutely a crazy stat that cannot be overlooked. There's another one. Kyron Williams has rushed for 60 yards in 13 games. The Rams, again, are averaging 4.6 yards per carry. The Bears are allowing 5 yards per carry, fourth most. The Bears have allowed 14 running backs this season, 60-plus rushing yards. And the really, really big one, the Bears are third worst against defending quarterbacks under center with play action. Matthew Stafford under center for play action this year, 144 for 214, 1,735 yards, 24 touchdowns, 1 interception, 127.4 quarterback rating. These stats could make a difference, but I'm going to tell you 2 things, and then I'm going to let you take it away on all this for a minute, Brandon. The Rams defense has fallen off the cliff lately. Since week 12, they've allowed 19% explosive pass rate, which is top 10 in the NFL. Since week 13, 41% explosive rate, which is second in the league. Of course, the Bears are number 1 in the league in explosive plays. Since week 10 as well, the Rams have given up 27.7 points per game. And as you add all this up and you want to take a look, this is kind of mind-boggling when you actually look at these stats. When you look at explosive rate, look at who's 2 and 3 on this list. The Bears and the Rams. So, Brandon, I'm going to ask you, with all these stats, the Rams are positive here, the Bears are positive here. What makes the difference for you in this ball game, man? How did the Bears slow down this play action
I
under
think
center?
well, both these units are good, man. I like the Rams offense. I like the Bears offense, obviously, and I think they're both going to have fairly good days. That's just what these guys do. But what's important is the Bears second half defense is something I relayed to last Monday, Sean. I mean, that's this defense, for whatever reason, at home has come out and been able to get the opposing offense off the field a couple of times. And I think if the Bears win this game, that's where it will be. They just have to get Stafford off the field once or twice. Not even necessarily saying taking the ball away. I'm saying get some third down stops in the second half of this football game. I do think the Rams are going to come out hot. Yeah, and I think the Bears are going to have to score early. So the explosive plays are going to matter to the Bears, maybe more so than Rams. The Rams can get down the field without explosive plays. We know that. Stafford, you just said in play action, he's a dink and dunker. He can throw a big pass, but he can also just light you up, especially in man. This is going to get interesting, man. But I think this Bears offense will need some big plays. They'll need some scores early in this game. Sean, what terrifies me about this football game is watching that game last night. That Seahawks team, once they opened it up, there was no coming back. I don't know that the Bears would have come back on that football team because they just kept laying it on and laying it on and laying it on, man. So, and the Bears don't turn the ball over, which is something the Niners were doing yesterday. The Bears. So I like the Bears' chances of putting points on the board. I don't know just about the one thing I'm concerned about is just early in this game, you can't get down big. And I do want to say this, man. I believe it's the same defense, same scheme. I could be wrong, but I believe it's the same defense, same scheme as last season, this Rams team. Caleb looked pretty sharp against this Rams team. The one time he did play them in his rookie season, one time he's played them in his career, he's 1-0 against Stafford. But if you remember that game, the Rams were kind of looking like they were going to score and win that football game, and somebody hit Stafford as he threw the ball. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, yeah.
He got hit as he threw it, fell kind of flat, it died. But it looked like the Rams were going to score in that football game. But I thought Caleb against that defense, who had Jared Verse, I thought Caleb looked pretty sharp. And he had a bad offensive line, man.
Yeah, and looking back at that game, Brandon, and I'm sure people don't remember a year ago, or maybe you do, but the biggest player in that game for the Chicago Bears
DJ Moore.
was DeAndre
or was Swift. It Swift? Yes. DJ Moore had a big game, I think, too, didn't he?
I'd have to look back.
I think he caught that touchdown over the linebacker. Remember?
He did. Caleb
put that ball just out of reach of the linebacker with the long hair. I always forget that guy's name, man. He was outreached, and Caleb put the ball right over him into DJ's lap in the end zone. I remember that play. Oh, yeah. DeAndre Swift is going to be huge in this football game, man, and I think a lot in the passing game as well, man.
Yeah, he had 72 receiving yards last year against them, 93 rushing yards and 16 carries. He averaged 6 yards per carry, 165 yards from scrimmage, and that was without Ben Johnson and this current offensive line. And and for me, one of the biggest keys in this football game for me is I want to do exactly what the Denver Broncos did. When you watch that first drive of the game, and they took almost 9 minutes off the clock, and you saw Josh Allen sitting there with his hands in his warmers with this sad look on his face like, am I ever getting on this football field? Like, this is exactly what I want Stafford to look like. Ground and pound, work that clock. The Bills Denver had to be thinking the same thing. We don't want Josh Allen on this football field. He's dynamic. He can make plays, even though he looked like shit in the first half. That's the mentality you have to have. You know it's going to be hard to stop Puka. Someone in the chat asked, how do you stop Puka? That's a great question because nobody seems to have that
off
answer.
The field. You just did answer, Sean.
Yeah,
that's keep exactly that unit off the field. That's how you keep Puka Nacua out of the end zone. Just keep him on the damn sideline because honestly, that dude is just undefendable.
He really is. And
it's sickening because the ball's going there and he's still open.
Yeah.
And then when he's not open, he's a pretty big dude. Like he can catch the ball all over you as well.
The Bears have to come out with that fire, that determination, and that will that they had in the second half. They have to overwhelm the Rams, catch them off, get Stafford off his timing. If you move him around in the pocket, there's a possibility that this guy can turn the ball over. He had 8 interceptions this year. 5 of them came on the road. 5 of them came in games below 40 degrees. So that's also something that is super significant in this game. The Rams use a ton of 13 personnel as well. And this is something that the Bears have not defended well in games this year. They get that receiver over into the C gap, 1 back, 3 tight ends, 1 receiver. This is significant. The Bears are 32 in explosive rate against multiple tight end sets. They're dead last in the league. Bears, I have touched on this through numerous games throughout the season, how the Chicago Bears have been torched by numerous tight ends throughout the season. The Rams are going to use this 13 personnel and make the Bears or try to exploit the Bears' weakness. The Bears are going to have to find a way to counter that today.
That kid Parkinson is looking like he might have just been a really slow developer. Remember, he's looking like he's a player, dude. I don't know if you saw that touchdown he caught to win that game last week.
It was amazing.
Yeah, he can play. You're not wrong, man. Don't forget about their tight ends. As much as Puka Nacua and Devonta Adams scare you, don't let Matt Stafford just go in the middle of the field. Like I said, he will destroy you. I do want to say this, man. I'm probably thinking. I'm sure this is with a little bias, but this secondary is probably going to look the best it has all year. Because I thought Kyler Gordon looked real rusty in the first half of that game. I thought he came on really strong in the second half of that game. I think he's going to come out today as your best player on defense. He's going to make plays. And I think when Kyler Gordon's doing that, this entire team plays better. I would almost dare to say, Sean, this kid's a multiplier when he's playing at his best.
I agree.
He makes the players around him better. He makes their life easier. He makes their job easier. I do think this defense will hold up a little more. Now, they're still missing a lot of talent, but I think they will hold up a little more than they have as of late.
And you want to know, admittedly, we all saw the text this week or the tweet. Jalen Johnson admitted that he's not near 100%. I mean, I think we
knew that.
Yeah, we all figured that by just watching him play at not his Pro Bowl level. And it's going to be a challenge. I do think, though, having Kyler Gordon back and C.J. Gardner-Johnson out there as well, I think you can mix and match that personnel, give some interesting looks, come off with some blitzes off the edge with them both on the field. I think this is a great dynamic for the Bears. And I would like – and with McLeod out, we have to see Stevenson out there, no? I mean, we have to see this guy out there. He was part of the shutdown defense that got the Bears back into this game against Green Bay. He was playing great one-on-one coverage last week. It would be nice to see that replicated this week.
You have to use Stevenson, Sean. You cannot. If you're going to stick with man, you're stick with your. What's up? What's going on, Jay?
What's going on, fellas? Sorry about the late start here.
If you're going to stick with your guns in this man coverage thing, you cannot. I can't stress this enough, man. Nahshon Wright cannot end up with Puka Nacua at any point of this football game, or it's over. And I'm serious. Unless you're playing help over the top, you're playing quarters, and you're leaving those guys way out there. You can't play man with Nahshon Wright on the field in this football game. Tyreek Stevenson's got to play more man. I know that Nahshon Wright's been really good at taking the ball away this year, guys, but he hasn't done it as of late, and he's getting burned. Stevenson has to play.
Yeah, I agree.
100%. Stevenson needs to cover him man-to-man if that's the way you want to go.
What was that, Jay?
No, I said 100% correct. Stevenson's the guy that's got to cover him man-to-man. He's our best cover corner. I love Jalen Johnson, but he's even admitted he's not 100%. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to play man, press man, that's the guy that's got to do it.
Yeah, and I know one of Dustin's favorites, DeMarco Jackson, being out there gives the Bears a little bit more speed, versatility, east to west, north to south. I think his impact in this run game is going to be huge. The Bears are going to have to figure out a way to slow this run game down because I do believe, personally, they're going to lean on this run game. We went over the numbers just a little bit ago. They average almost a yard better per carry with Dotson on the field. He will be starting. Whether he completes the whole game will be a storyline within the game we'll have to keep an eye on. But Bears are going to have to plug the gaps. They're going to have to stay disciplined. They're going to have to slow them down. They have to figure out a way to make this team one-dimensional. Blake Corum to me, too, and I don't know where you guys stand on this. To me, Blake Corum is a little bit more of a threat than Kyren Williams. I like Kyren Williams as a football player. I think he's a grinder. But I think when you start talking about pounding in between the tackles and breakaway speed, I think Blake Corum has both of those over Kyren Williams. I don't know where you guys sit on this. What are your thoughts on these two running backs? Which ones do you guys think will be more effective in this football game, or will they have the same impact as each other?
Dude, I'm willing to bet they use both.
Yeah, because Kyren can catch,
being this cold. I love both. I mean, hell, I drafted Kyren in our playoff fantasy pool. But man, they got a really good line. They got a really good run game. So I don't like either one of them, to be honest with you. And I don't like how we stopped the run.
But you know what's going to happen, man. You know it is. I agree with you, Dustin. They shouldn't play man against Puka and Devontae, but you know they're gonna. Dennis is going to do it. He's not going to get away from the thing he's done all year stubbornly, even sometimes in some games. But I agree with you, Sean or Jay. I think, boy, you would. Kyron Williams could torch this team catching the ball out of the backfield, man. That's happened to this Bears team a lot this season. You remember what Chase Brown did in the second half to this Bears team? I mean, so Kyron Williams is somebody I'm going to keep my eyes on. If I'm going to spy, I don't want that guy chipping a block, turning around, and opening up for a pass. That's Stafford loves that. He would he'll take a check down all day as long as it's working. So the Bears need to make sure that's not working.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but again, man, I thought I thought the way that the Bears ran the ball last year, even without a good offensive line and shit coaches against this Rams defense, I think that should be the way. We're talking about the Rams leaning on the run. You still think the Bears should be doing this, man? This should be a Philadelphia Eagle. I say this every fucking week, don't I, guys?
I think we all do, yeah.
This should be a Philadelphia Eagles type football game, especially early in this game when you're not down by 100 points. Establish the run and keep your offense on the field as much as possible in this football game. The time of possession, to me, Sean, will win this football game.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And I think it's very important, as I stated just a little bit ago, that the Bears look at what the Broncos did to try. And I know that game wound up being, overtime and over 30 points being scored. But the way that game started, I was in my head, I'm processing, this is how the Bears need to start. Keep Stafford on the sideline, keep Puka on the sideline, keep Devontae Adams on the sideline. I mean, honestly, if we go up and down the schedule, and I ask you guys this, is this the most complete team the Chicago Bears have faced all year? Or Philadelphia maybe? Or do you guys feel like this is the most complete team?
Well, it's strange, man, because, I really thought, I don't know, it's every team we've played has been in a different point, has been different than the team they were maybe a couple weeks prior. I thought that Niners team was playing their best football. I thought that was the toughest game the Bears had played. That Niners offense was just on fire. Regardless of how bad the Bears defense is, that Niners offense was on a run where I think Purdy had 15 touchdowns in 3 weeks or some ridiculous figure, man. So are the Rams playing the best football than any team the Bears have played this year? That's the question I would ask. And what do you guys, the way they finished that season, I would say
that's
no.
a good point.
The way they played against Carolina, I would say no.
Yeah, that is a really good point. I'll be honest with you, man. When I kind of look at this and I say, Carolina got down 14-0. The Rams allowed them to come back. You go back a couple of weeks ago on the road in Atlanta, the Rams got down big, and then they were able to come back. A lot of these numbers that we're looking at that were compiled by the Rams, I believe, were week 1 to week 10. Week 10 to now has been a completely different Rams team, as you just stated. I do agree with that 100%.
Yeah, I texted you guys last week during that Panthers game. I almost kind of want the Rams in the condition they're in right now. Do you remember that text?
Yeah.
And I wasn't being facetious. The hand looked like a problem to me, guys. The hand was bothering Stafford in that game. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying after a week now that's going to be the same case. In that football game, the hand looked like a problem. But Sean, they looked like they were, I don't know, on their heels, right?
Yeah, a lot of
there's been times where that Rams team looks like they're just in control. They're just on top of you, and they just keep layering it on. In that game, they looked like they were concerned they weren't going to advance in the playoffs, and they very well could have lost that game. So yeah, Sean, I think I thought the Packers, when the Bears, to your question, I thought when the Bears played the Packers and lost, that was the best version of a football team we got all year. That Packers team that had Micah Parsons playing, that team was really good. Mm-hmm. I don't know that this Rams team is at their best. I wouldn't say so.
Jay?
And then coming to 0 degree weather, I'm not gonna come out and say they play their best football tonight either.
Jay?
Look, the answer is, I'm just happy to be in the playoffs, so I don't really care who we're playing, especially this divisional round. The teams are gonna get better and better if we're just being honest with each other. I mean, we're not like we can't be picky or choosy. We get who we get. Now, would I rather have been playing somebody else? Probably. I think the Rams are a really, really good team. I think they've got the best play caller on the other side of the field. I think they've got a pretty decent defense. But we were talking about this yesterday, Sean. Their defense is not that great. They give up a lot of points. They give up a lot of yards. Most of their stats are coming from the first half of the season. I mean, look at what Carolina did with the Rams last week. You can score on them. The biggest problem is, can we hold them at all at any point during this game? And I will still hold fast. The key for me to this game is special teams. With the weather being this bad, time of possession, where we give them the ball, and who can kick best. That's probably going to win this game. It might come down to just a field goal. It might be like Green Bay, and the guy might miss a couple of extra points. So we're going to have to keep up in scoring, and we're going to have to do whatever we can to stop Puka. And, I think on Wednesday we mentioned this about Puka. He's top like 3 in everything except for man coverage. I think I saw a couple of people in the chat saying that, you can't play him man or you'll lose. That's the only way you can play him. He goes, it's the best way to handle him, or just don't let him on the field. But, short answer is, I don't know how you do stop Puka. He's going to probably score points on you. But statistically, his worst numbers are against man.
I got a question I want to ask you guys. I've been thinking about this for the last couple of days, and I'm relating back to that Niners-Bears game. And then, Sean, we talked a little bit about it, the way Caleb played last year against pretty much the same defense. I mean, like, these guys have added some talent in the secondary, but these guys were still able to get after the quarterback last year. And that Caleb played this team with a very, very different offensive line, and he looked really sharp. If you guys remember in that game, he was decisive. He made good throws. And can the Bears shoot out with this team if both defenses just don't show up today?
Yes.
Regardless of whether can we hang? Can we trade punches?
Yes. I think that the Bears
you got a top 6 defense or offense.
Yeah, and I just, if Caleb comes to play, I think he can hang with anybody. I mean, he showed it, and again,
you have too much talent on offense.
Yeah, there's so much talent. I mean, honestly, once again, when you look at this Rams team, the Rams' 2 players that would defend Colston Loveland have given up over 70% completion rate on the year.
Oh, he's going to go off.
Yeah, and Emmanuel Forbes is not good. He's not good. And if that's your lead, like, I just look at last week and I say to myself, if Jalen Coker can torch this team and Bryce Young can run up and down the field on this team, fucking hey, man, the Bears certainly can.
And certainly Forbes, man, we haven't said enough about Caleb's. Caleb has been really, if you guys let me know if you agree, he's been really good this year at finding the weakness. I mean, he destroyed Nixon for 3 games, guys. He clearly knew that was the Packers' weakest link. No matter who Nixon was defending, that's where Caleb was going with the ball. He destroyed him. And I think Caleb will find the weak links in this secondary because they're there. I mean, we watched it last week. They're there. Tetero, McMillan, Bryce missed him a couple of times, man, but he was so open against this Rams defense like 3 or 4 times in that football game.
Yeah, and I agree with the chat here. Emmanuel Forbes isn't only small; he sucks.
He's not good. Guys. And the thing that I've been I want to relay this, and it's very important. It doesn't matter. They could have the best cover linebackers in the league. Colston Loveland's going to beat you because he can play anyone on your team.
Yeah.
That's why Colston's going to have a good game today. That's why he'll have a good game next week. That's why he'll have a good season next year, because we're talking about Puka Nacua. I want to say this firmly here, guys. You can put this on record. This is the player Colston Loveland is becoming and will be. You cannot, there's no answer for him. You can't defend him. You can bring help over the top, but he'll still find a soft spot in your zone, whatever. He's going to get the ball. He's going to get open. And if he's not super open, he's still going to catch the ball all over you. That's the kind of player Colston Loveland's going to be. That's the kind of player he's showing already that he is. It doesn't matter who lines up across from him. He's going to beat you.
A little interesting storyline here is Coleman Shelton went back to LA after a year in Chicago, and Sean McVay gave up on Jonah Jackson and traded him to Chicago. So that's a little story within the story for today's ball game. Do these two linemen step up because they have something to prove to the other team that let them go? I kind of look for these stupid stories inside the stories. But the other story that I did find, and there is a player I want to talk about on the Rams defensive side that I don't think gets enough credit. But, I always look for these silly nuggets and tidbits. But going into this game, the Chicago Bears being a 4-point underdog at home is currently the largest spread for a home team since the NFL-AFL merger, which to me is pretty insane. I don't think they should be 4-point underdogs in this ball game to begin with. But the one guy I wanted to talk about, a guy who kind of stirs the drink for that Rams defense, and people don't give him enough credit, is Nate Landman. This guy gets after you. He's an X factor on that defense. And one thing that Nate does very well is he searches the ball down and he strips it. He's got 4 forced fumbles this year, and he was really on a roll. He had a stretch. He got them all in a week, but he hasn't had a forced fumble, I believe I read, since like week 13 now. So it's been a stretch. Hopefully the Bears are on this. Just watch that guy today. He's going to be a definite force. We talked about Colby Turner. We talked about Byron Young and Jared Verse and Brandon Fisk. And I just don't think that this guy gets enough credit for what he does on the defensive side of the ball for the Rams. Just another component the Bears are going to have an answer for. We'll run downhill, run right at him, see what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's been really good, Sean. I watched in that Panthers game. He made a couple big plays. I mean, he's just a motor guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Doesn't quit. Those guys definitely, you have to terrify you always, man. Those guys, that's the guys that chase plays down. That's what I mean, Sean. Those guys force fumbles because they don't quit on plays, and they end up being behind you. And yeah, Dante. I mean, if you're a Bears fan not seeing this, this guy is different. He's different. He's not defendable. You guys. I want to talk about Gervon Dexter when opposing offenses run the football is more than a problem. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if this guy's just got to stay off the field when they see I formation. He can't defend the run at all. He just gets moved off the line. He gets thrown around. And you're seeing teams get big chunk runs against the Bears because they're just taking it right up the middle on that left side. That's usually where Dexter is. Something's got to give there, man. I don't. The Bears obviously, Chris Williams is on the roster. I know still they don't have a whole lot of answers, but when teams run the ball and Dexter's in the game, it's bad. It's constantly bad.
What are your thoughts, Jay, on this, on Gervon Dexter? And as we get into this, he is ranked against the run 107th out of 134 defensive interior linemen, a 43.8 grade, which is abysmal, saying that 60 is league average.
And he
I don't know what you're going to do.
He has a place on this defense rushing the pass, but man, when the run comes, that guy is just, it's brutal.
Yeah, what were you going to say, Jay?
Sorry, Jay.
We don't really have a choice. We don't have very many defensive tackles to play here. We've got our choice of 3, and those guys get tired, so you're going to have to rotate them in and out. And I think if you just take him out in obvious situations, it's probably an indicator for the Rams to check down to the run. So it's not necessarily something that you want to just take him out and then all of a sudden we're better at the run. I mean, it may actually hurt us. Now, the same could be said that if they see him in, they could just always check him down to the – who knows? But he's going to be in there one way or the other. It's up to the linebackers and, our DBs to help step up and come in and stop the run. Really, honestly, what scares me most about this Rams offense is I never had a chance to say it last week, but the Bears use a lot of nickel, right? We all love Kyler Gordon. He's better than C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I don't think any of us can agree, but the Bears play nickel on 73.6% of their defensive snaps. However, when a nickel, they allowed the 4th most yards per play. Matthew Stafford led the NFL in passing yards and passing touchdowns when facing nickel. So I don't think you're really going to be seeing a lot of nickel here. I think you're going to be seeing a lot of cover 2 and cover 3. And it's really just going to be up to the defensive line to stop the run. There's no other way to really put it. We don't have the tools to stop the run. We just have to step up and do it.
Well, I think when you see Blake Corum out there, because the Rams kind of do this per drive. That's not a play-by-play thing. You'll see a lot of Corum, then you'll see a lot of Williams after that. I think when you see Corum in there, man, you've got to fight. It's got to be Garrett. It's got to be Jarrett and Billings. It's got to be. I mean, this guy, he exploited your. He made the whole line weak every time the opposing team runs the ball last week. I mean, every time the Packers ran the ball and the guy was on the field, I was texting you guys this. They're going to run it right down the fucking throats because that's when he's on the field. That's just the answer. Teams know this. They're aware of this. This guy he's getting moved so far off the line that it's making Montez Sweat's job miserably harder. And that's why I think Montez Sweat is being affected these last couple of weeks. He hasn't looked like the same guy to me. In the second half of that game, he really turned it on. But for the game, the entire game prior to that, in the first half of last week, I thought Montez Sweat was just doing too much work. And he can't get after the quarterback when he's trying to make up for the fact that there's a gaping hole next to him every time the ball is hiked. And I don't want to pick on Dexter, man. I just think that when you're starting to see that they're going to maybe, especially if they start getting the ball, getting some carries up the middle and it's starting to be effective, you've got to get that guy off the field. It's something that Dennis Allen did not address last week. It needs to be addressed this week, or they'll get burned.
Yeah, and again, I said this, earlier. I think you've got to figure out a way, and if it's stopping the run, to make this team one-dimensional, and help your defense out. They kind of did that to the Packers in the second half, and with Kyler Gordon on the field. He's such an impact player. And Brandon, I know we touched on this just a little bit ago, but this run defense with him on the field is just way better. He's such a high.
Their ranking climbs like 15 spots, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Aren't they go from like 18th to like 6th when Kyler Gordon's on the field or something.
Yeah.
And I think he did need a week, guys. There's no way you
don't. 100%.
There's no way you don't. You don't miss as much football as that guy's missed this year and come in fresh. Like it's you're nursing things. You're trying to get the rust off. Rest versus rust, right? Rest versus rust.
Yeah, and I think he'll be back. I honestly think that he was healthy a couple of weeks ago. That they just gave him a couple extra weeks of rest on IR just to make sure that he was healthy, because he looked really damn good in the second half. But with these kind of temperatures, an injury can always pop its head up. And, this could be a problem for Matthew Stafford with that finger. I've read somewhere that his finger was actually swollen. So gripping the football for him in this cold could be a problem.
Do we see a Kyler Gordon sack today, guys?
It would be nice.
Yes. Yes.
I'll taking the over on that, though.
I'll say him or C.J. Gardner-Johnson. One of the two gets a sack, and I think you're gonna have to get. You had 12 pressures from from Booker and Sweat. I think you have to replicate that this week. You gotta make Stafford uncomfortable. Give him some happy feet. Maybe he throws a little bit quicker. His time to throw is one of the fastest in the league as it is. So the Bears have to get there quick. They have to be effective immediately, getting that pressure. This guy will dink and dunk you to death and just move up and down the field methodically. He's a master. He's definitely on this schedule that the Bears are playing, probably the most professional quarterback, unless I'm forgetting one, that the Bears have played all season. This team is scary. This offense can put up points, but the Bears can put up points. Can the defensive line win the battle in the trenches, keep these guys at bay? Young, Turner, Verse, Fisk, keep these guys off of Caleb. Can Caleb continue his magic in the pocket, being elusive, extending plays? There's so much in this game, because honestly, I asked you guys this question earlier, but I do believe this is the best team the Bears have played all year, and there's a lot of questions, and I know that they've kind of declined, but you're in a one-game scenario where you just have to come out and play your best ball. And if the Rams come out and play their best ball, the Bears are going to have to answer that, especially offensively, because they will be cerebral, they will be methodical, they will move up the field. And the Bears, as you stated earlier, Brandon, cannot start slow. If you get down like you did the Green Bay 21-3, I'm not going to give up hope, but I don't know if I'm going to have the same hope. Is that fair?
It's a much different offense. You get down 21-3. I have a feeling like that's just one of this Rams team, man. If they put up 21 points in the first half, that's the kind of game they put up 50. I mean,
Sean McVay, I agree. They'll probably continue.
Sean McVay does not hit the brake. He hits the gas. And I want to ask you guys this: we talk about home field advantage and bad weather. Is that outweigh the Super Bowl winning coach versus a rookie coach advantage?
I don't know. You got to see it to really know the answer to that question. I can tell you this. For me, it comes down to our defense. Can we play like we played in the second half of Green Bay? Or are we going to play like
that's
the first
what I said, Jay, before you came in. I said the same thing. That second half home defense at home great. This year has been their second half defense at home. I don't know all the figures, guys, but they've been pretty good. They've been pretty good. They're allowing teams 18.6 points at home or something like that. I think they've done enough for this offense to come out and score enough to win a football game. So yeah, Jay, that's going to make the difference. Do they slow the Rams down in the second half? Guys, we know the Rams are going to come out scoring the football. That's probably going to be the case. We can say that with certainty, I think, after the way this season's gone. But did the Bears defense do those halftime adjustments that Dennis Allen's been making all season long? Does he do it with Sean McVay? So you're right, Jay. That's where the chess game is, really. It's not Ben Johnson and Sean McVay. It's what does Dennis Allen do at halftime to throw this team off?
Slow this team down.
Yeah. And we're making the same things look different and different things look the same.
Yeah, and we've kind of seen it all year. And you just got to have the faith. And we saw Buffalo. They went down. They were down 10 at halftime yesterday. I mean, no game is over. And for this Bears team, especially at home, giving up 16.9 points per game on the year, right around there. This team's not dead. They have the heart. They have the desire. They have a guy by the name of Caleb Williams came out and said, "I live for these moments. This is what I was built for." And all he's done is come through on those words. So keep the faith. Second half adjustments are going to be key, unless this weather is just that effective. But then you look at like Puka Nacua. I believe he went to school in Utah. They're pretty cold up there. Blake Corum played at Michigan. Kyron Williams played at Notre Dame. A lot of these guys played in cold weather. And, I listened to Clay Harbor earlier in the week, and he said that it definitely does have a toll on your body because he was born and raised here in Chicago. But when he was traded and spent 4 years in Jacksonville, he said coming back to these cold climates definitely did have an effect. You definitely felt it. It definitely shook your body a little bit. So there is some validity to it. There are some legs to it. I look at what the Rams did against the Eagles last year. A very, very good defense, probably one of the better defenses we've seen over the past decade. They were able to put up 400 yards. They were able to put up 22 points. They moved the ball against this team. Stafford threw a couple of touchdowns in that game. So, albeit I do think the weather will have a factor, I just don't think it's going to have enough of a factor for me personally that says it gives the Bears such an advantage. I don't know if that's fair to say to you guys or not, but that's just kind of the way I feel. And Steve,
you can do something.
To answer Steve's question really quick, Brennan, no. Beating the Packers on the way to the Super Bowl makes me happy. Super Bowls are what matter to me, plain and simple. Rings.
Yeah, the Bears team is not going to be. They're not going to lose this game and think, "Well, we beat the Packers a week ago."
Yeah,
that's not what the players are thinking. They're going to think, "Fuck, we let them down. We let the fan base down. We didn't do it." That's good. They have one goal, guys. One goal, and it's always been the same. It was never beating the Packers.
Yeah.
If the Packers just so happen to be on the schedule to reach the goal that was the Super Bowl, then sure, that was obviously one of the goals. But the Super Bowl is all this team cares about. And I think this game will be determined on how can the Bears hang around in the first half. The second half, we know they've been really good. They've pretty much beaten every coaching staff across from them in the second half of every one of these games this year. They make adjustments. Dennis Allen and Ben Johnson figure things out at halftime. Can they figure those things out throughout the course of the first half? And can they hang around?
Look, if Carolina can hang around, we can hang around.
Exactly.
I agree. I think this Bears offense can get some points scored in the first half of this football game. Again, I want to say this, guys. This is important. You haven't seen this too much except for with your teams in your division and against Washington now. It's important to start noticing the trends in Caleb's career. He has played this Rams team once. It was basically the same defense, same defensive scheme. He played really good football. I would expect Caleb to have a good football game today against this Rams defense.
And my answer to you, Bruja, he said, would this spread be -10 for LA if this game was in a dome or in LA? And the answer to me would probably be yes. I think it would be in between 8 and 10 points. I mean, the Bears are 5-point underdogs at home.
Just wait till you see the spread if we go to Seattle next week.
Yeah, no shit. I'll tell you, man, watching that defense yesterday, man, that's some scary shit. That
it's gonna be like 13 and a half.
Yeah, it's gonna be scary. It's the one thing that I wanted to avoid playing in Seattle. But hey, man, if the Bears are blessed enough to get past this game and go to Seattle, it's been an odd year. I'm sorry.
If they go to Seattle, it's anyone's game, man. Because
I still don't believe in Sam Darnold. I really don't.
You're so close there. It's anyone's football game.
And I do want to give one correction because there was a fantastic article written by a gentleman from LA who did a deep dive into Matthew Stafford and said the 1-9 is actually misinformation. And he went through and listed all of the games. Stafford in his career in games under 40, based on this guy's report, and it was a very long, extensive report. So I'm going to tend to agree with him and say he did his research and he's right. His record is 7-11. But he is 5-7.
I saw that, Sean. I saw 7-11.
Yeah, that article. Yeah, so I'm just gonna say the elements, they will factor in. They will, Bruja. I do agree a little bit. Maybe if this was a sunny 50-degree day with no wind, this game is 52-50. You know what I mean?
If you're a Bears fan who wants the Bears to remain outside in the elements without a dome, why do you want that? Because you think the elements play a factor in these games. Like that's just, this fan base believes that the Bears have an advantage in the cold. That's why they don't want a dome. So believe it now if you ever did.
And I believe in this team. I believe in what's happening, and I believe that the Bears are going to find a way to win this game. We'll talk about Seattle if we're blessed to get that far, because I might have a different tune going into Seattle. I like this team here in Chicago. I like this today.
I was hoping for the Niners to win that game, guys.
Well, yeah.
Like a friend of mine asked me, who do you want to win this? I was like, the team that has to come to Chicago. That's what I want. That's why I want to win this.
Yeah, and didn't happen, but it is, Dustin, I guess a little bit. But again, tomorrow when we have the House Hall hangover, if the Bears lose 32-28 and Stafford puts up 400 passing yards today, we're gonna be like, yeah, that weather wasn't really that much of a factor. so I don't know, because I did look after I looked at that guy's article. That's what immediately made me go to that Eagles game last year and say, oh shit, he actually played really well. And they said, it's 20-mile-per-hour winds. There's, it felt like 20 degrees on the field with snow.
And I don't know that. Stafford's a pretty seasoned veteran, man. I don't know that that's the guy would feel has the biggest impact because of cold weather. Like you might see some drops or a fumble, or things where players are just because they're not, the blood's not warm. You know what I mean? You guys know how you can do something 100 fucking times standing inside your living room that you're really good at, and then you step outside in the 0-degree weather and you do it, and you just don't do it as well. That's how fucking weather works. That's how it is. So,
I hope the heaters don't go out on their side of the field like it did for the Packers.
Let's see that happens, Sean. I'm gonna need you to go take care of that, Sean.
And Dustin does bring up a good point about this scuba gear. It's built for cold weather with the insulation that they have. It's built for the extremities. I guess
doesn't that imply a factor already? Then
that's good.
Yeah. I mean, I think
it's going to do something different than he's done all year during his best season.
I agree 100%.
We're changing our trends, our habits, our preparation. I would say the weather's already it's already playing a factor.
Yeah, I agree. And I heard Sean McVay say that he might consider Matthew Stafford's method. I'll tell you this right now. If I had to stand on the sidelines, I'd be wearing some shit like that. Standing on the sidelines for 3 hours and 5 below zero, yeah, fuck that.
I guess what if you get too hot though? You can't just like run off and you can't just take it off.
Sweat is the worst thing that can happen to you in this kind of weather. So if you build yourself up too much, I mean,
I like that. I like hearing that, to be honest. I'd like to hear that the Rams are all doing things different from their norm to prepare for this game. That's never a good thing, I don't think.
Yeah, and James stated he doesn't think that the Rams will score 22 points today in this game.
I hope you're right, James.
I hope you're right too, because if they don't, the Bears are definitely going to win this game. I think we're going to know right out of the gate. I think this is going to be either shoot 'em up, bang, bang, or the weather's going to affect this game and it's going to stay slow. And again, I want this game to be exactly how the Broncos and Bills open. A nice 9-minute methodical drive, bleed the clock, keep Stafford and Puka on the sideline, let them think about it for a while, and then get out there.
Let them get real cold over there.
Yeah. Let the ice break off of them as they're walking off the sideline onto the field. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to be honest. I don't even think I'm going outside today.
Yeah,
it's so fucking cold, man.
Yeah,
I just let the dog out before the show, and that when I opened the patio door, that wind that blew, and I was like, "Holy shit, man!" I almost wore my onesie on the show today. It was really. I got a nice Bears onesie, like a bear onesie. I almost wore it today.
Yeah, there's a pretty big draft coming off of this patio window next to me, man. It's fucking cold outside.
I'm ready though. I'm excited, and like I said, I don't know if you guys are going to change your predictions as far as score, but I'm not going. I'm going to move mine up a bit. I had 27-24 Bears. I'm going to move it up to 31-28 Bears because I do think there's going to be scoring in this football game. I do think it's going to be hard for the Bears to completely shut down both sides of the offense as far as running and passing of the Rams. I think they'll be effective. This Rams offense is good, guys. It's good. The defense for the Bears has a lot to prove. They can stop them. I think they'll score points, but I do think the Bears will exploit the weaknesses of this Rams defense. I think the offensive line is stout. I think they can stand up. I think they can contain these guys a little bit, and then you tie that in with the elusiveness that Caleb Williams has, the ability to extend plays, the mismatch with Colston Loveland out there, and just the playmaking ability. I said it on Wednesday. I'm going to say it again today. I do believe Luther Burden catches a bomb for a touchdown in this game. I don't know if we'll be up or we'll be down, but I think he's going to slip by, and Caleb's going to hit him going down the boundary, wide the fuck open as he blows past the defender. This Rams is just not good, guys. It's just not good, And Caleb can extend the plays. I mean, look, he's throwing Jumpman Superman passes, for Christ's sake. Like, let's go, man. He's going to do it again. I do think Colston Loveland personally think Colston Loveland and DeAndre Swift will have the two biggest games for the Bears. But I do think big splash play to Luther Burden on the outside. That's just kind of where I'm at. Maybe it'll go to DJ Moore, but I think it's Luther Burden time this week. Booyah. Let's go. Bears 31, Rams 28. We'll see you in Seattle, boys. What you guys?
I'm sticking to mine, 34-24 Bears.
34-24?
That's the same exact scores, Mijay, that I threw out on the I I think Roma Dunze is a big football game, guys. I do. Like I said, I like the way Caleb played against this defense last year. He threw the ball. He was confident in doing so. I like Rome in this game. I think Rome was used as a decoy last week, which Luther and Rome were both kind of used as decoys to get DJ the ball last week. I think Rome is the guy you kind of want to highlight in this game. I do think this, guys. The way that Montez Sweat and Booker played in the second half of that football game last week is the difference.
We need that all game.
Have to be the difference. Yes, Jay. They have to, even the pressures, guys. I'll take it all day. You're not getting set. You've got to get back there. And I do believe that, I know he doesn't, guys, and I say this every time we play in a quarterback that doesn't turn the ball over. I do believe in a cold weather game, Stafford is more susceptible to throwing some off-target balls. I think you could take the ball away in this game, especially if Montez Sweat and Austin Booker get pressure. And I do want to say this. I think if you get home, and I'm not wishing this upon the guy, you can remove Stafford from this football game.
Oh, give me Stetson Bennett. Here, I don't want to discount. I don't want to discredit Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett was his story is remarkable.
Two-time championship winner.
Two-time and a walk-on at that at Georgia. He wasn't like some big time.
I root for Stetson Bennett. I do.
Yeah. I hear Stetson Bennett in Chicago when it's 5 below zero. I wouldn't be putting my money on it.
Yeah, I'll take it all day. I'll take that all day.
Yeah, and Jimmy Garoppolo is questionable as of this morning. They didn't rule him out. And I mean, would you go to Jimmy Garoppolo over Stetson Bennett if he can get out there on the field?
I don't think it matters.
Does Jimmy Garoppolo scare you?
If Matt Stafford's not on the field, we win the football game. No, Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't scare me. No, Jimmy Garoppolo's the reason the Niners don't have a ring on their fingers, man.
Jimmy G, come on, give me some Jimmy G.
I would rather see Stetson than Garoppolo, though. Garoppolo's a veteran. He's played a lot of football. He's been in high stake. He's been in a Super Bowl. Garoppolo would handle a situation like that better than Stetson Bennett.
Yeah, I agree. Does it bother anyone? Or I guess before we wrap this up, two things. Sam Darnold, I read this morning, has made an NFC Championship game before Dak Prescott, Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield, Justin Herbert, Tua, Kirk Cousins, Daniel Jones, and Trevor Lawrence. That is pretty awesome for Sam Darnold because I still think he sucks ass. I'm sorry. I just don't think he's a good quarterback. He did that throw that Jackson Smith and Jigba touchdown in the back corner of the end zone last night. I'll give him props for that. That was a phenomenal pass, man.
He also threw Walker out of a touchdown, and he threw a ball too high, and Walker had to leap to get it and ended up losing balance. And if you see what's in front of Walker on that play, man, he's gone. He's gone. He was going 50 yards to the house, and Darnold knew it. Darnold had a look. He was doing the "that's on me" thing because Walker is a guy who's going to take it to the house. Darnold is a quarterback who can very easily be made to make mistakes.
Out of nowhere, he'll throw 5 picks.
Right.
If he's uncomfortable, he's not an elite quarterback. That's why I have trouble calling him that to begin with.
Yeah, but he had a really good game, and as much as I think he stinks, you have to. If you're a Minnesota Vikings fan right now, you gotta be sick to your stomach watching Sam Darnold because the weapons in Minnesota between Addison and Jefferson are better.
You should be more than sick to
your stomach. Daniel Jones.
Furious with
on that team too.
You should be furious with your GM and your head coach because it was a terrible decision. It was a stubborn, narcissistic decision by O'Connell to think, I just won 14 games. You can give me anybody else, and I'll do the same shit all over again. J.J. McCarthy, you already saw that guy. Come on, man.
He sucks. and the last thing I just wanted to touch on before we wrap this thing up on this frigid Sunday morning on the lakefront is it looks like we'll be shredding cheese on this douchebag's head for the next 5 years as the Packers agreed to an extension with Matt LaFleur, the guy who can't get out of the first round of the playoff. Thoughts, boys? How happy are you that Matt LaFleur is sticking around for 5 more years in Green Bay?
I'm fine with it. Honestly, it scared me of who might, come in, if he left. But I mean, we just beat him twice, so maybe it's better to keep him there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's good for the rivalry. It's good TV. It's good storylines. I mean, for sure.
You hit the nail on the head, man. I'm going to be honest. I didn't publicly voice it. I was a little terrified if they had fired him. You had Mike Tomlins and John Harbaugh's fucking available.
Right?
I was like, oh shit. This is going to play so much just like the Packers. They're going to lose before and just get some fucking Hall of Fame coach, man. And they stuck with LaFleur, and I was like, oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. So, yeah, I'm pretty damn happy about it. Jay said it best. This would have been a bad offseason for us, for the Packers to fire their head coach.
The good news is they're losing their defensive coordinator. I think that's probably the best part of this. Hopefully they get in some schmuck.
Yeah, you're taking a job?
Yeah.
That could be scary. That could be scary, too, who actually ends up as that defensive coordinator, as there's a couple of good names out there. And I'm really glad that Mikey just checked in because I almost forgot to give you a shout out, guys. Don't forget today at 4:00, he's doing his seminar with the Shepherds on human trafficking. He is going to be the lead speaker, educating people what to look for, identifiers, things of these nature. So make sure at 4:00 ahead of this Bears game, you go out, give him a little love. Check out his show. Again, like I said, he will be the lead speaker. Mikey, you can count on us. We will be there checking you out today ahead of this Bears game. And yeah, that's a good point, Dustin. That's a good point. I know this is what everybody is scared of. And Al Harris leaving and reuniting back with the team he used to play for, the Green Bay Packers, on the defensive side of the ball as their new coordinator. But let me ask you this. He's been a great DBs coach. Calling an entire defense, whole different bag of tricks. We know what's good, we know what's bad, but can he do the complete job as the head DC? I don't know.
We won't know until he tries, man, because he is a player's coach, and players' coaches when they get the X's and O's responsibilities always goes one of two ways. They're either very good or they're very bad. But he is a coach who's loved by his unit. He's a coach who's loved by the DBs on that football team. They'll probably tell you today he made a big impact on their careers and their lives. But that's not always the winning recipe when it comes to calling plays. Man.
Yeah,
correct me if I'm wrong. He's under contract with the Bears. The Bears can say, no, I don't want you to talk to Green Bay, no?
Dustin knows the rule.
I think they can deny him.
If it's a lateral promotion, you cannot block.
Yeah, I don't know the ins.
So if it's from DB's coach to defensive coordinator, I don't think you could block. Where you could, if somebody said we want to make Declan Doyle our offensive coordinator, you can say no. You know what I mean? Because you could say, hey, I want Declan to be our play caller. He doesn't do that for you. I want him to do that here. It's not technically a promotion from position. So you can say to another team, sorry, Declan's going to stay here. I don't think you can do that for a guy who's being given a promotion, a better job.
Oh yeah, it is a busy afternoon for you, Mikey. We can get after you. I'll be watching you while we wrap up this Texans game. Go Texans today. You guys on the Texans train, or are you guys riding with Drake May?
I'm going Drake. I'm thinking now. I can't. I'm this insane that I get to do this, man. I'm thinking in terms of who the Bears have to play. I don't want to play the Texans. If the Bears go to a Super Bowl, do I want to face that Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter front? Not so much.
You know what? New England's defense isn't that bad either. They're pretty damn good. So I think
they have been, but they just don't play anybody, man.
Yeah, they haven't played anybody this year. I think Houston wins that game. I'm with you. I don't want them to win the game, but they're probably going to win the game.
I'm going with Houston as well. I think Will Anderson, Sheldon Rankins, I think they're going to terrorize him. I'm such a Will Anderson Jr. fan. I picked him to be my defensive player of the year. He's obviously not going to get it because of Myles Garrett's historic season. But man, is that guy just a game changer on the field. Dude, being pancake blocked and being under the pancake and still sacking the quarterback last week was one of the most incredible things I've ever seen in my life, dude.
It's just pancaking that guy alone is pretty incredible. And that's remarkable for whoever did that. But I thought the Patriots in the first half of that game against the Chargers defense that's played all right this year, man, I thought that Patriots offense in the first half of that game looked like shit. I mean, it looked like shit. It was like 6-3 in the first half of that game. They really turned it on in the second half. But if they play like that, the way they played in the first half against that Texans front,
they're toast.
and
that's kind of what I was saying, dude. They played the Chargers last week. The Chargers, first off, their offensive line is a bunch of who are yous and never will be's, and they patchwork that together. And the defense, for all intents and purposes, is okay. And it took them 4 quarters to get a touchdown. This defense is stepped up way from the Chargers. That I don't know, man. I'm not liking the Patriots today whatsoever. But again, it's been such a crazy football season that I guess you never know. You never know.
And there's advantages there. I like the quarterback better in New England, and I like the head coach better in New England. I think that Mike Vrabel's a better coach than DeMeco Ryan. So
I don't disagree with that either. And CJ Stroud seems to have turnover problems in the playoffs. So,
dude, that guy has been bad.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on there. I've been texting Dustin about it. It's like 2 different people.
Yeah,
he's like a different person from the guy who played his rookie year.
It's really weird. It's going
to be hard without Nico Collins too.
Yeah. Yep. And they did address it because Collins has had injury issues. I told you guys, I'm starting to think this guy never plays fucking football, man. I'm not touching that guy in fantasy. I'll say that, but I think the Texans knew that because they went and got Noel
Higgins.
Yeah, they addressed it. So I think the Texans were almost kind of preparing for not having Nico Collins, which says a lot.
Yeah. Yep. And for Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, I really hope they make a trade or they draft a legit playmaker to help Joshua Patrick Allen
a little bit. It's sickening, man. It's sickening.
They also went into that game. They also went into that game missing like their 3rd, 4th, and 5th receivers that were out.
And those guys are just as good as their number 1 receivers. Their pass catchers are so bad, man.
They are.
It's so bad. It's hard to watch.
It's criminal,
dude. I know there was a whole. Yes. I was sitting with a friend of mine. I'm trying to explain like this guy is the best fucking football player. She doesn't know about football, but you watch the play where there was a holding call. Okay, so it was negated anyways. But there was a play where Josh Allen ran around and then got to the kind of the boundary where a defensive player was coming to hit him. And he stood there looking, and he knew it was coming. And he embraced it. He stepped into the hit, threw it to Keon Coleman in the back of the end zone, and the guy fucking dropped he was undefended.
Coleman sucks.
And he dropped the ball, and he didn't know there was a penalty on that play that was going to negate it anyways. After Josh Allen's heroics and then taking a lick from somebody, this guy just drops the ball. It's sickening. It's sickening to watch. Josh Allen, if you put some real talent on that football team, if you take this Bears wide receiving core and Burden and Rome and DJ and you throw it over there, they don't fucking lose.
They might not lose a game. They honestly, they won't. And Phil, if you want to go back to the beginning of the show, Brandon and I opened the show talking about the left tackle situation. Just a refresher, nothing is official. It was speculation between Adam Johns and Brad Biggs. And
it was all plan B is what it sounds like.
Yeah, and I'll be
injured.
Just keep an eye on what Brad Biggs posts. He's probably got his ear the closest to the Chicago Bears of any of these reporters. So I would definitely be I'll be checking him out. And like I said, I'll be checking him out on X. If he puts a post up, I will put it right away on 4 Stars Chicago Sports into our group. Keep us updated on the up-to-minute action as the Chicago Bears currently sit about 6 hours and 11 minutes away from their opportunity to move on to the NFC Championship game against the Los Angeles Rams. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been amazing. And I am very happy to have all of you with us this morning. I am nervous as can be. And as I say that, it looks like Lizzie Bear. Oh, no, that's Liz.
Yeah, it's Liz.
Yeah, they got all new names. I'm like, I don't know if we've seen this person before. They've changed names. Welcome to the show, Liz.
Thanks Liz. Thanks, everybody, for joining us.
Yeah, Phil, Antmass, Breaking News, Camel Toe, Relentless. Don't forget to check his show out tonight, 4 o'clock on X. Google, search Relentless Mikey. You'll find him. He'll go on SpaceX at 4 o'clock. Dante, thank all you guys. Dustin, for jumping in the chat today, hanging out with us on this frigid morning. As I just said, the Bears are now 6 hours and 10 minutes away from kickoff and our opportunity to join the Seattle Seahawks in the NFC Championship game and a chance to get back our very own George S. Halas Trophy and get it back where it belongs on the lakefront at Halas Hall, boys. Let's go. I'm fired up. We're taking the Rams down. Fuck LA. Fuck the Packers. Let's go. I'm so pumped, dude. I'm so pumped.
Perfect.
I think when we get into this game, the one thing you can count on is absolute cinema, boys. It's gonna be fun today. It's gonna be a blast, and I'm so stoked, man. I'm so stoked.
Tune in for the Caleb show.
Yeah, these two guys are masterminds at what they do. This should be epic. This should be epic. I personally, and by all the scores, no one else thinks it's gonna look anything like that Seattle 49ers game from last night.
Anyone else, in regards to Matt LaFleur, is anyone else kind of hoping that he's helping Sean McVay?
Yeah, right.
I hope he is. He doesn't know how to beat the Bears.
Well, Mike LaFleur, isn't Mike LaFleur his brother, the OC for the Rams? Yeah. Fuck all the LaFleurs. That's all I gotta say. And as we check out of here, good, better, bad! Never let it rain! Never let it rain! You're good, get better! You're good, get better! You better get better! You better get better! Bears on 3! 1, 2, 3! Bears! Hope we get that today, baby. I hope we get that today. We're about 6 hours away. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your afternoon. Check out that Houston Patriots game, a little appetizer before the main event this afternoon. Until we meet again tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, we love y'all. Peace and love, and go Bears. Bear down.